This episode of Finding Friends is brought to you by no one yet, because we're just getting started. If you'd like your brand featured here, use the link in the show notes to see rates and packages. We'd sure love to introduce you to our friends across the country on an upcoming episode.
What makes someone an instant friend for you?
And is it possible to decide after one conversation that you found a new friend?
Well, we're testing that, starting with ourselves. Welcome to Finding Friends, a show where we sit with everyday people, from neighbors to names you know, learn what they look for in a friend, and decide by the end if we found a new friend in them.
I'm Catie Wilkes.
And I'm Christina Lee. Thanks for being here. Okay, we have to start with our drink check. So we start every episode by sharing our guest favorite drinks, kind of like you want to grab a coffee moment at when a friendship begins. So since today's guests are us, Catie, what is your drink?
So for me, there's all sorts of drinks. It just depends on what's going on in my life at the moment. Sometimes when I'm going out of town, it's Tito's, soda, and lime. But on a day where my throat is kind of feeling angry, it's hot tea with a little bit of whiskey.
It's not just whiskey. It's
whiskey.
Fireball. It is like You're stuck in 2005.
Hey, man, listen, you want to know the real story on this? Okay, so I was a bartender in college, and then for like a year after. And then whenever I started going to bars after I moved away from that area, and I'd order shots, and I'd be like, a mix shot. I love mix shot. I love a good mix shot. They were all just juice or fillers. Like, there were no alcohol, okay? So I was like, I got to just start ordering straight drinks. And this is one of the few back then that I could shoot straight. And it just kind of stuck. It became my thing. So
It has stuck. And every time we go to one of Catie has the most epic Halloween parties I've ever been to. And I think every 30 minutes they have like a shot time. And she will give everybody at the party a shot. Like, everybody stops and takes a shot. And I did it 1 year and swore I'd never do it again. So every time she gives me a shot, I'm either sipping it or I like hand it off to somebody else, because I just I cannot handle Fireball like you, Catie.
I'm a seasoned vet. What's your favorite drink?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Right now, this isn't my favorite drink necessarily. I mean, it is bourbon. It's a hot toddy. But as you can hear from my voice, I need
Got something going on.
Just so that, well, so I was in Grand Cayman with a friend over the weekend, and it was actually a work trip for her. She had won a presidential work trip. It's called the Jubilee. We're in Grand Cayman at the Ritz. There's about like 100 and something people. And you know me, like if I'm in a crowd, I will talk to everybody. I want to hear everybody's stories. I think people are fascinating, and when drinks are flowing and the fun is happening. I came home without a voice. And of course we had this scheduled, and I'm like sipping on honey and hot toddies or whatever, and it's still like this. But the show must go on. So next week, hopefully, when you hear me, I'll sound like a human and not a robot.
Christina voice.
The normal Christina voice.
I kind of like this voice. It has like a little like edginess to it.
Little
it's definitely not your voice.
It's little huskiness. But I am using one of my go-tos, Elijah Craig and Costco honey, because that's what's up. And in my favorite mug.
That is a nice looking mug. And it matches your whole ambiance behind you and everything too. Like, it's very coordinated. I like it. Ew, is that like it has a name on the bottom of it. Did you get that at a craft show or something?
No, I got it in there was a place in Sedona, Arizona called Miamo, and it's like a retreat center. Okay. And I was with a group of women, and it was in the gift shop, and I was like, I'm gonna treat myself, and
like, that's mine.
It's mine. And I love handcrafted beautiful things. So
it is. I love that you supported an artist there.
Yeah, I love it. But let's talk a little bit about why we started this podcast. I think, just like I said, about wanting to meet people, wanting to be, hear their stories and things. It's really hard to make genuine friends at our age, I feel like. I feel like when you do find a friend and you do connect and you bond, you want to just take them and squeeze them, and you don't want to let them go. But there's a part of you that you have to be vulnerable to kind of do that. And it's not something that comes easy for a lot of people. We'll go to a place, we might meet somebody, we might click with them, but we don't want to be like, hey, do you want to go grab a drink? And then you kind of miss the connection. And so what I want to explore specifically is, how do people make friends? How do we find a friend? How do we see the green flags, the red flags? How do public figures make friends? I mean, how do everyday people make friends, and how do public figures make friends? Because public figures, I mean, we've met, some high profile people, and I can't imagine having people want to be friends with you just for proximity's
Oh,
sake.
sure. Like you
And
feel
how do you
so
spot
guarded.
that?
Like how do you keep from like blocking everybody out because you feel like you got to be guarded, but you might,
Right.
you're keeping out the bad, but you're also keeping out potentially the good. That's what I would
And
imagine.
how do you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
and how do you know you can trust somebody fully? It's almost like, the more normal, I want to put that in air quotes, normal you are, the easier it is to make friends, but it's still not easy, in my opinion.
I feel like, especially at this point in our lives, most people have already established their friendships, and it's a lot of work to maintain friendships
It is.
while taking care of a family, while taking care of a career, whatever. It's
Yes.
it's it's not as easy as it was like in school whenever like, oh, we're all just showing up at the same place and we're being forced to meet all these different people and we figure out which ones. But no, now it's like you go to work, you though that's your pool right there.
Yeah,
And of people that you see regularly and daily.
right.
And then for me personally, like I worked at Cracker Barrel like very part-time for quite a while, but even then, like I was mainly a stay-at-home mom, and so I didn't have that work pool of people on a daily to like just bond with on the daily. So it was definitely harder for me to find my people.
Oh, should we tell them how we met?
I think I think so. So you want me to take the lead on this story?
Yeah, you take the lead. You always do a great job.
Okay. All right. So Christina and I, so just to give you a little backstory, I have two children. Well, at that time, when we first met, she only had one. She has two now, but I have a son and I have a daughter. And at the time, my son was 4 and my daughter was 2. And at the time, Christina's daughter was 2. She was almost 3. And we both had memberships to the Children's Museum in Cincinnati. And so that's where we would take our kids just to kind of blow off steam. Particularly for my son, it was like his reward for having a good day in preschool because that was his favorite place and he had a lot of trouble controlling himself. So at any rate, one of our favorite places to go there is they have this like little kid. This is what we call it. I don't know what they called it, but we called it the kiddie nightclub because it's
The
literally
Kitty nightclub.
it's a
It was
nightclub,
so
okay,
weird.
but
It
it's a
was so
day
weird.
nightclub,
It
right?
was the middle of daytime with all these
Yeah.
toddlers, and they were like, it was dark, it had the techno lights,
Yeah,
what are
yeah,
those
like the
called?
the
Strobe
disco
lights,
ball and strobe lights and
loud music,
yes. There's a stage, and then off to the side of the
streamers.
stage where, like yeah, like these little, like, sticks with tulle kinda, like, scarf kinda material hanging off them, so they could, like, whip them around and just wave them like they just don't care, you know? But so, our kids are running around playing, and I don't remember if it was, like, speakers that we were sitting on, but it used to be that the perimeter was, like there was, like, some sort of, like, block kinda thing that you sat on along the wall so that the kids could dance in the middle of the dance floor, but then they also had the stage. So, I remember ah, and I still can't remember the name of the song. The Night of the Roxbury
I
song.
it's,
I can never think
isn't
of
it
it.
What is Love? What is love?
"Baby, don't hurt
What is
me,
love? Yeah. Don't
don't
hurt me.
hurt
Yeah,
me."
that one.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that they play and all the songs that they played at the nightclub were normal songs, like, not kid songs, but they were
I mean, they
appropriate
weren't like the thong
language.
song or something,
Exactly,
but
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, it was appropriate.
Yes, but so, like, that song was one of the ones that they played, and, we came from a time where you heard that song and you immediately had to start bending your neck. And so, there was nobody else in there doing it besides myself and Christina.
And me.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, I so a little backstory, the day before this happened, and this always gives me cold chills, but I was in a very lonely place in my life and, divorced. I moved to Covington, Kentucky, and I lived over my great grandmother's apartment at the time, trying to get my life back together, trying to figure out what I'm doing next. And it was lonely. I didn't have any friends. Um, I was just lost, and I prayed a genuine prayer. And when I mean genuine, I asked the Lord to send me a friend, just anybody that I could connect with. And it was the next day. We were at that children's museum, and
I
that
still can't believe that.
song in particular, "A Night at the Roxbury," that was mine and my sister's favorite movie growing up. Like, I mean, we would do the head bobbing thing, like, that was our movie. And so when I looked across the room and I saw nobody else doing it except for Catie, in my mind, I was like, "That's her. That's my friend. That was who I prayed for." It's just something deep in my bones. I just knew it was her. And of course, like, you have doubts in the back of your mind, like, okay, like, I know it's her, but does she know it's her? Like, I don't know. It was something. It was a feeling. And at the time, I didn't do this because I'm a social person now, but it was hard for me when you're going through a hard time
Yeah.
to be vulnerable and put yourself out there. But I walked up to you,
Yeah.
and I can't remember what I said.
You just started, you were like, yeah, like you were like doing the dance with me and you were like,
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody else is doing this. And I was
Yeah,
like, I
something
know,
like that.
right? Like, come on, people, let's have fun with our kids. And then I remember we like just joked about the song and the dance for a minute. And then we saw that our daughters were up on the stage twirling those little scarf things around and just running around like they were little happy free spirits. And
Like, they were best friend for years.
yes, yeah. My daughter, she could make a friend like in an
Oh,
instant. And
well, just
she,
like you.
yeah, truly. So, so they were having fun and you wanted to capture it because that's what you do. You're the memory.
I take pictures.
Oh,
Yep.
and I miss being with you daily because I got so used to you be doing it that I like stopped taking pictures for a while because yours were always better than mine, anyways. But anyways, so you were like, you took a video and then you asked me if I would mind if you shared it on Facebook with your family and friends. And I was like, no. And then you asked if I would like it to be able to see it. And I was like, yeah, I'd love that. And then you asked, like, you want to give me your information so we can be Facebook friends? And I was like, absolutely. And then you invited me over and I'll be honest, my husband and I are originally from Central Ohio, really close to Columbus, but we had moved to Indianapolis and we lived there for about 4 years. And then we moved to Kentucky. And when my kids were like 8 months and like 2 years old, something like that, Luke was almost 3. And I had been waiting for a long time to find a friend that was close by. I had friends that were far away that were my strength and they're my closest and all that, like, but they weren't there. They weren't there, and they weren't there for me to have like a companion in life with, and I desperately wanted that. And I had a couple little random moments where I was like, "Oh, maybe this is one." But for me with you, I was like, "Oh, I really like her." But I knew that I wanted to keep you, like I wanted to lock you down after after we had that the dinner at your house. You made
It was
Mexican.
tacos.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't make a friend after eating tacos?
Yes. And I I remember you had a KitchenAid mixer and you mixed up guacamole in there, and I'd never seen anybody use a KitchenAid mixer for guac. I didn't have a KitchenAid mixer at the time, so I was like, "Ooh, she's fancy." But anyways,
Fancy.
I know, with
I
your
mean,
packet of guacamole
you saw a
seasoning.
packet of guacamole
It was so
mix.
good though. I'd never had it. Anyways, our daughters hit it off and we hit it off. And I know you like I've been thinking about it too, trying to remember exactly what I said in the text message that I sent you that night after I'd gone home. 'Cause I do remember part of it. I remember trying to, like, warn you, like, "I'm a lot. I'm a lot." Like, "I'm all
It
in.
was
When I'm all in, I'm a lot." And I don't wanna freak you out or scare you away, but I really wanna be your friend. And
that was basically what the text said, and I had never had somebody be that vulnerable with me about a friendship, and in my head, I was like, "Oh, this girl's an overthinker.
Oh,
She
yeah.
is," and I love her, I mean, but in my head, I was like, "I love her just the same," even though I wouldn't send a text like that to somebody. But I appreciated it because there was no, like, second guessing, "Oh, did she like me? Was that, was I too much? Because 'cause I'm an overthinker too." I don't know, it was just
I don't
I don't
know.
it's
I'm
almost
sorry.
like I I don't wanna say you're like my work wife because that's how people compare it. You're my friend wife. But, it's almost like that. You're not
Sure.
dating, but you when you are dating somebody, you have those things running in your mind too. Did the guy like me? Did they, you
Yeah.
know, was I too much for him? All those things. And I think that's, when friendships are a lot like that, where you want the other person to like you if you genuinely like them. And there's a lot of second guessing going on after when you truly do like somebody.
I definitely feel like the wonder was too much for me, cause I was just like, I couldn't just, cause 'cause you're right, like, it is like the first date kinda thing, like, you're like, "Wait, did they like me as much as I like them? Cause I don't wanna come off as a psycho, but I'm ready. I'm ready to take the next step." Can we say
Let's
we're
go to
really
the
good friends?
zoo.
Yeah, let's go to the
Can we
zoo
go to
next.
the zoo next? Oh
And
my
that's what we did. And that's what
And
we
that's
did.
actually what we did, and we spent, like, every day that summer together
Oh,
almost. I'm
yeah.
going to each other's houses, going to the zoo, children's museum, the
Working
parks.
out
I mean,
together,
working out. It was the connection I desperately prayed for and needed.
companionship too, like,
Oh, and to find somebody that accepted me in at my lowest. I was at one of my lowest times of my life, and you just scooped me up and like lifted me up. You didn't care that, I was I don't know. There was a lot and I don't want to get into all that. But when you're at your lowest, you don't want somebody to hold you down. You're desperately looking for somebody to see the light in you and encourage you.
understand how you couldn't see the light in you. I
It's
remember
hard
that,
when you
yeah.
are in the trenches, truly. But, you know, the mix in honesty and overthinking in a relationship and a friendship, that is peak friendship energy. And I know we're not the only ones that experience that at all. So I don't know. Finding friends seems like a lost art because, like, we're busy, we're glued to our screens, and it's really vulnerable to say, "Want to be my friend?
Yeah.
Want to be my friend?" And we want to normalize that. The real conversations, the no transactions, just pure connection. I believe that is what we're trying to encourage all of our listeners, all of our, I'm I'm sure there's gonna be at least 4 of you out there, hopefully. Um,
Hi, mom.
Hi, honey. And so yeah, and that's why we're inviting all kinds of people on the show. Some of you have heard of, some of you haven't, and with public figures, we're going to ask them how they find genuine friends because everybody knows their name. How do they spot the green and red flags? How do they handle people that just want to be near their fame? And then for everybody else, I mean, we just want to hear, how do you make a friend in this environment where social media is taking over our lives? How do you find that connection?
Yeah, it used to be like you'd go to the doctor's office and you'd end up having a conversation with the
Yeah.
other person that's waiting, but now we're all just sitting there on our phones and to keep into
It,
ourselves.
and then, do the close friends share the same interests or the same values? Uh, you know, can they be different but still, share that bond? Like, okay, so we have
I
to
don't
we
think
have
we
to
could
tell
be any
this
more
story.
different.
Right? Katie is, I want to say this without being, is it a derogatory term to say metalhead?
I would never take offense to that. I love rock and roll. I love metal. So
Oh,
Like,
okay.
anybody that
Uh,
loves that kind of atmosphere, that kind of vibe, I don't think they'll be mad. If anybody doesn't like it, then I don't care. I don't care.
Okay,
Metalhead!
well,
I like a lot of music
someone
though, so I'm not just a metalhead, but I yes, I do love my metal.
Katie loves rock music. Um, and it's just rock music. It's not like you're I don't know who's a like a mid, rocker.
Like Nickelback.
Yeah,
Oh, Steven's gonna love that.
as 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 you could tell, I'm not a huge I mean, I love music, but I don't know music, but okay. Here's the thing. So I'm into pageants, girly things. I used to work for Miss USA, Miss Earth USA. Like I've done the pageant thing. She used to come with me to pageants, and I would go with her to rock music festivals, and I still do. We cannot be further apart from our interests. She decorates our house in like country. How would you describe it?
I like the whole farm kind of vibe.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
farm vibe, beautiful, country chic. And I'm probably pretty boring.
You are not
And
boring. You have
well,
such a classy, elegant style. I
I
love
love
going to
you.
your home.
Well, anyway, uh, so we are very different, but our values are very much the same.
True.
But we have to tell them, okay, getting back to the rock festival. I had never been to a rock festival before. She's like, Christina, you've got to go. You've got to come with me to this rock festival. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I'll try anything once, right? And so she's like, everybody's dressing in all black. Here's some pictures to give. And I was like, what am I getting myself into? Like, I think I have two black shirts in my wardrobe. So I'm like, I'm getting on, oh, what's it called? Dolls Kill. And I can't remember what
Akira.
other, yeah,
Akira.
Akira,
Yeah.
Shop Akira. And trying to pick out something that's moderately cute, but black. And so she takes me to this thing. I I had a blast, but as soon as she gave me a safe word, I was like, "What am I doing here? What?
Well, I like to
What?"
go up in the not everybody goes up into the, like, the crowd where there's, like, the crowd
Oh,
surfers and the
you
mosh
do.
pits. Oh, I do, I love it, and I felt like, in order for you to get the full picture, the whole scope of it all, why not? So, Slipknot
Why?
does not ever disappoint in that department. But I knew it could get crazy, with
And
my
meanwhile,
very
I'm
yeah,
5'2". I'm
yeah, I'm like,
5'2".
less probably 100 pounds soaking wet. And I was like, "I got you. I've been around long enough. I can lift some people," and yeah. Anyways, but if it was too much for her though, I wanted her to have a safe exit. So,
I
yeah.
don't think you would be able to hear me even if I yelled it.
I feel like you could always find some way to like pull my hair or
Communi
pinch my arm or something like, "Now! Now,
ex
Katie!"
except you would probably be in the middle of the mosh pit when I needed you.
God.
She is always the middle of the mosh pit. I don't know how she does it.
I You wanna feel alive? Go into a mosh pit, okay? Who needs skydiving, okay? Go jump in a mosh pit. A bunch of
It's
sweaty
so
dudes.
true. Oh, man. Yeah,
Yep.
sweaty or just soaking wet from the rain. Last year it was raining so bad. But
Oh, yeah.
it's still like that's one of my favorite things to do with Katie because it's so not me. But I think that's what friendship is about. It's a give and
Yeah.
take. She gets dressed up and goes to the pageants with me, and I get dressed up and go to the mosh
What
pits
is it
with
called
her.
that I've done? I can't even think of the person that puts in the information.
Oh, the auditor. You were an auditor for me one time because you were the most honest and trustworthy person I
I
know,
love
and
that side of
that's
it, like, getting to be in there for the interviews and, recording the points right away. It was a really interesting perspective hearing the answers from all um, the girls. It was okay if I call them just girls, but
yeah,
yeah.
girls, women, yep, yeah,
And
title
I
holders.
love getting dressed up. I love getting dressed up. I like to get dressed up in like all sorts of ways. And I love going to your pageants. You did a great
Well,
job as director too.
I thank you. I love you, and I am so grateful that we get to do this podcast. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
kinda silly being like, "Catie, I feel called to do a podcast. Let's go back in, 2012 and do a podcast."
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, when you have a calling and you just feel like you're supposed to do something, and who better to do it with than you?
I'm
And
just
because
great. Like, I'm happy I'll get to like see you, and because I live in northern Kentucky.
and I live in Louisville, Kentucky now, so
Yeah, so
we
we're
don't
we're
get to
about an
see
hour
each
and a
other.
half away. So this is my way of like just feeling like we're back to back to the beginning,
And,
getting
well,
to see
and
each other
Kate
more often.
Katie can talk to a rock and not have any problems. She like she is the best person to take in an Uber. Sometimes, when I get too I have too much like social interaction with somebody, like I want to turn it off, right? It's at the end of the night. I'm like, okay, time to decompress, whatever. And then you get an Uber. Uh Katie doesn't turn it off. She will talk to that Uber driver to the point where I'm like, okay, if I book the Uber, I really hope this guy isn't going to give me like a 2-star rating because Katie will not stop asking him questions. Some Uber drivers like it, some don't.
It's true, and I've learned to pick up the vibes. Some of them want to talk, some of them
Have
don't.
you though?
I have gotten better, honestly. Whenever we went to Vegas, I definitely there was times where I sat there like, okay, I'll be quiet.
No, I don't believe it. I do
I
not believe
did.
it. I don't believe it. Well, all right. We'll test it out this Friday. Okay. At the end of every podcast, we do something called a lightning round, and we just ask our guests lightning questions, and you can't even think about the answers. You have to go for it. Oh, here we go. What social setting do you thrive in?
Hmm. I I
Quicker,
love
quicker.
I'm sorry. I love karaoke bars that have karaoke. I just
Oh my
love
gosh,
being
she
around
is.
the people that are there are usually the ones that I vibe with, that I'm like, we can all be friends and we can all cheer each other
You are
on, even if
the queen.
somebody
You are the queen of karaoke.
I love karaoke. So
And the
that's my answer for that one.
karaoke song that we sing together,
Marianne and
Dixie
Wanda
Chicks.
oh my gosh, that's like the perfect time for your raspier voice right now.
Oh my, we're not doing it right now. I would die. This is a podcast, Katie. It's recorded for life. Okay, a green flag and a new friend.
Let's see. Eye contact?
Oh, that's good.
I don't
That's
know.
good. No, that's perfect. Go with your gut.
Yeah.
Okay, a band you'll never miss live.
Oh, any and every opportunity I have to see Avenged Sevenfold, I have been there. I will be there. I love them. They're my favorite. There you go. Avenged Sevenfold.
Perfect. Ideal first friend date activity.
Well, I really did love going on all the mom adventures with you at that point in my life. Now, I would say my favorite friend activity would be concerts. I love going to concerts. It's my favorite pastime.
Okay, text or call.
Call. I mean,
Neither.
yeah, I
Neither
don't
is
know. Text.
yours.
I do like a
Neither.
text too.
Yeah. Okay, listen. If I have to get a hold of Katie and it's important, I have to text her husband and be like, please have Katie check her phone. But
It's not my
it's
strong
so
suit.
fun. Well, and it's so funny. But you know why? Because when you're with Katie, she does not have her phone with you. She gives you her undivided
Oh yeah.
attention. Nothing will get in the way of whatever she's doing with you. And so, even though I'm an hour and a half away, if I text or call her, like I don't get offended if it takes a few days to get back or a day or an hour. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter because, I mean, unless it's something important, and then I do text Zach to get an
Yeah.
immediate response. Uh, but I know that Katie is so involved, and that is what I love in a good friend.
I love that you find the good in my uh how would you say it? Like characteristics. Like you found the good in why I'm bad. you know,
It's not
I'm bad
bad.
at keeping track of my
Sometimes
phone,
it's
but there's a
annoying.
good reason for it.
There,
Usually, I
there's
love I love that you 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 love me enough to see that to see
I
that.
love you regardless, and I think that's what a good friendship's about. I mean, it's
Heck
just like
yeah.
a married relationship or a boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance relationship, whatever. We accept the flaws and we love them anyway,
True.
you know? Okay. I think it's your turn to quiz me.
What makes you feel instantly welcome?
A hug. A good warm hug.
I
I
love
like warm
hugs.
hugs.
Hug time.
Hug?
I wish we could hug.
Yeah,
Air
definitely a
hug.
hug.
Okay, that's a good answer. I agree. I feel like I that would probably be I'd have the same answer there. Who's a dream guest you'd love to befriend on our show?
Oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna say this because number one, I adore her personality. She's hilarious. Uh, she, I understand her sense of humor, probably because I live where she grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
She
Oh, that'd be so
is
cool.
she she doesn't know it yet, but we're friends.
Yeah,
We're
I
friends with
felt
each
that
other,
way. Whenever I
and
saw that whenever I saw her, I don't she was being interviewed and Jack Nicholson was messing with her during her interview, and the way I was like, "Man, she's so cool and she's so funny," and I wanted to be her friend. Uh, Anytime that I actually basically see her having some sort of, like, I mean, she's a great actress, but any of the real interactions that I've seen, like, on interviews or whatever, I'm like, "She is real."
she's
She
a but you hope that, but that's the
Yeah.
other thing that sometimes they always say, "Don't meet your" is it heroes or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Uh,
or your idols or whatever.
because, you're you might be disappointed. They might be totally different in real life, and I'm like, maybe I don't wanna have Jennifer Lawrence because I want
Don't wanna lose that.
I don't wanna yeah, lose that in my head
I
of
don't
her.
think we would with her. I think that
I
she's the real deal. I really do.
I don't
She's
know, I
our
want her to
friend.
be cool in my head
She's
forever.
our friend.
So, yeah, I think she'd be our friend.
Our favorite hostess move when someone visits.
I I love a good gift, but not because I expect it. It's because I genuinely bring gifts and I put a lot of thought into it. A good bottle of wine or, a candle or whatever. But I only do it like the first time I visit a house. I don't do it every single time because, when you're friends with somebody and you're just like, okay, it's a Saturday, whatever, and we're getting
I
together for the
don't know.
fifth time this month.
You're probably one of the most generous people that I've ever met, and I can't recall many times that you didn't come bearing something to my home. And
That's true.
I
But
know that
maybe
it's
it's not like formal,
no, it's
it's
never
just
formal. It's
like,
more like I saw this and thought of you.
oh
And
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
or like there's times when I'm like if I'm hosting something big, you're like you put on so much like food or whatever, like here, let me contribute or something. But honestly, I know that the reason why you would get so much joy out of receiving is because you get even more joy out of giving. I've
Yes,
no you
that's
are
my thing.
you truly every time you
Right.
and I
See,
love
this
that
is
there's so many things in my home that like I'm constantly like, "Oh, Christina gave me that. Oh, I remember when Christina gave me that." Like there's so many things that just like you are so present in my life even when you're not here. I'm just always thinking like, "I love her. She knew me
it's
so well."
well, it's so when you walk around your house, you're like, "Oh, I gotta text her back," you know? Like, it's a reminder, "Oh,
Yes.
shoot, I gotta text her back."
I've gotten better
Yes,
over the years, haven't I?
and it's
Well,
because it's
you're
more
everywhere. I'm like,
reminders
dang
of
it, I
me.
better get her back before I get her fired up.
Don't get me fired up.
I know. Hey, one
Okay.
time was enough for me. Okay. All right. So let's see here. How do you recharge after peopling?
Well, guilty pleasure, maybe a little drink and some TikTok in the garage. I literally hide in the garage,
Your hidey hole.
and it's my hidey hole because my dogs, we have a big fenced in yard, and they come in and out of the garage, and they'll go in the house too. But when it's a beautiful day, they'll come in and out. I'll just sit in the garage and scroll on TikTok, and they'll be by me, and it's truly it's my escape from being a mom, a wife, like all the
All the
responsibilities of all
demands.
that. My my dirty garage. I love it.
I love that you have it's good to have a place, and I love that, like, I'm sure your dogs love that time with you too.
Oh gosh, it's the
That's when
best. I
they get
mean,
mama. They get mama time
oh,
too.
I know, and the snuggles and the can't get any better than that.
All right, let's ask one more. A compliment you wish people gave friends more often.
Ugh, you are so kind. I think a lot of times we don't acknowledge the kindness of other people, and partially because we hope everybody gives kindness, but in a world where people judge, people are jealous, people are I just you are probably the most kind, besides my husband, person
He's
I've
very
ever met.
kind.
One of the most I mean, I now I'm thinking like, "Oh my god, yeah, she's kind, she's kind." Yeah, Barbara, Jackie, like all of the people in my life, I can pick out who is so kind because they just make you feel so loved
Mhm.
and so accepted, and I don't know how to say that except, "Thank you for being so kind." I think more
Well,
people need that
you
in their life.
you deserve nothing but kindness because that's what you exude everywhere you turn. So I'm grateful to give back what you give.
Well,
I
people are
love you.
getting sick of us complimenting each
All
other.
right,
I
bye.
love you too.
Ew, your breath probably
So
stinks like coffee.
coffee? No, it's hot
Oh,
toppy.
sorry. Elijah. Elijah.
Elijah. My
All right.
gosh.
Where are we at?
Well, okay. Well, did we make new friends today?
No. I
We're,
mean, not new friends, but yeah,
we're
officially, yes, we're verified friends.
we've been verified friends for a while.
10
I think
years.
anybody around us. 10 years. It's
It's
been
been
10
10
years.
years. It's actually over 10 years now. We met
Which
in
is crazy
April.
because that's it's a little more than my anniversary with Josh. So
Uh-huh.
it'll be 10 years next year for us as well. And yeah, I love that because I am not a numbers person. So that keeps
Keeps
me
it close.
on track. You tell me when our friend anniversary is, and I'll know exactly when our marriage
Right?
anniversary is. Well, you've been listening to Finding Friends, new episodes every Tuesday, audio wherever you get your podcast, and full video on YouTube and Spotify.
Subscribe. Leave a 5-star review if you had a good time. And join the newsletter for our weekly friendship challenge, a tiny action to build better friendships in real life.
Interested in sponsoring an episode? The link is in the show notes and has everything you need.
Follow us on socials at Finding Friends Pod and send us your friendship wins. We might feature you next week.
Finding Friends is created by Christina Lee and Catie Wilkes, produced by both of us.
Mainly you. You're so much better.
Copyright 2025, Finding Friends Media. See you next Tuesday.
Bye. Thank you.